Hello friends, here I am Kirandeep Garg from UGM Shiksha Kendra. This is our fourth lecture of MCQ of legal. Earlier we discussed 3 lectures on MCQ on near about 55 questions in 3 lectures. In this lecture basically we have discussed 4 to 5 questions from chapter 2, basically topic governance, corporate governance, and rest questions from chapter 3. Many of students have got the notes. So first of all you have to revise the notes before this lecture. Completely revise all the notes, 7 to 8 pages, and then watch this lecture. Before revising notes, watch our video, because many questions are deep in concept. Like article is 21, then further questions from 21A, 21B, in this way. So watch the video first, then notes, and then watch this lecture. So let's start. Here I am Kirandeep Garg from UGM Shiksha Kendra. All our lectures are chapter wise and MCQ also available in videos. Basically presently we discuss legal and principles, practices and principles of banking. For handwritten notes chapter wise you have to mail on our email ID. So today's lecture start with the joke. Here a banker asked his girlfriend asked his banker boyfriend, 2 साल से कह रहे हो तुम्हारा वेज रिवीजन नहीं हुआ है. From last 2 years you say that your wage revision is not done. Then this person asked his this girl asked his boyfriend, कम से JIB ही कर लेते, कुछ तो तुम्हारी सैलरी बढ़ी जाती. At least you have to pass JIB, so you get at least 1 increment. So similarly all of you must do hard work to clear JIB, so at least you get 1 increment, because your settlement has no time. Basically as in news it says 2.5 years and still in pending, so at least clear JIB and get 1 increment. So let's start. Question number 56. Corporate governance principles of 2004 are called. Basically these principles of 2004 are known as OECD principles of corporate governance. Initially in 1999, corporate governance principles first time published, known as DECO principles. Corporate principles published in 1999 is known as DECO principles, and published in 2004 is known as OECD principles. Basically 2 questions, one is 2004 which are OECD principles, and in 1999 DECO principles. Next is, in India the corporate governance guidelines have been issued for banks. Basically corporate governance guidelines issued for banks by which organization and on the recommendation of which committee? Basically in 2001 RBI constituted a committee for corporate governance guidelines. So which organization? RBI. Here the option is C or D. So on the recommendation of which committee? Dr. A.S. Gongli committee. So the committee is A.S. Gongli. So our answer is option C. These all are available in our notes. So in 2001, in which year? 2001, organization committee found by RBI, and who is the head of the committee? Dr. A.S. Gongli. After that, question number 56. As per RBI guidelines for corporate governance, RBI permission is required for acquisition of share of stakes of a private bank. Basically whenever any company buy any stake in any private bank, then it has to take permission from RBI after a particular percentage of share. So here in private bank it is 10% or more. If any company get 10% in any bank, 10% stake in any bank, then it has voting rights, participation in voting rights, and these 10% stake helps in controlling the bank. So for that, RBI condition is must. After that, large industrial houses are allowed to acquire by way of strategic investment in shares of a private bank, not more than. For large industrial houses, the percentage is not more than 10% of the capital of the bank. Because RBI never want that private banks, basically control of the private banks is not goes in wrong hands. Because if any company buys stakes in private bank more than 10%, then in the bank's decision, these industry or basically the firm can compel their decisions to implement. So for these, there is not possible more than 10%. Under section, from here chapter 3rd starts. Under section 21 of the Banking Regulation Act, RBI issue directions to bank in respect of. Basically under section 21 of the Banking Regulation Act, RBI has power to regulate advances of banking companies, loans and advances of banking companies. So answer is option A. Audit and inspection, which we have discussed in chapter 1. Audit and inspection is in which, anyone remind? If you have watched my lecture 1, then you have to answer this question. You have to answer under which section audit and inspection in the comment section. After that, RBI can regulate acceptance of deposits, including rate of interest on deposits by banks under section. Here we have section 35, 35A, like as been given 35, 35A, 35, 45. Banking Regulation Act, Banking Regulation Act, RBI Act, RBI Act. So basically for overall banking general guidelines, section 35. But here we have given acceptance of deposit. Acceptance of deposit is specially mentioned in section 35A of which Act? Banking Regulation Act. So from here you have to know the proper section. Section 35A of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. So our answer is answer option B. Because here they have specially mentioned acceptance of deposit, either term deposit or your demand deposit or time deposit. Time deposit includes saving account, current account. Term deposit means, time deposit means FD, RD. Another one is demand deposit. Demand deposit, whenever the customer demand, they can give money. Basically bank can give money to the customer, and which is current account or saving account. After banking ombudsman, basically settle disputes. Banking ombudsman started in 2006. Presently 25 offices in India. So banking ombudsman settle disputes between two customers? No. Between a customer and a bank? Yes. Answer. Banking ombudsman basically settles dispute between a bank and a customer. Let's see other options. Between two banks and between a customer and a bank? No. Between a customer and the government? No. Between a customer and the bank is the correct answer. RBI can issue directions to banks on loans and advances. Basically under section 21 of Banking Regulation Act. So issue directions to bank on loans and advances in the interest of government? No. Basically this question means that why RBI issues directions to grant loans to the public, basically for the empowerment of public or for the development of the country. So in the interest of government, no. In the interest of borrowers, no. In the interest of public include all persons including borrowers. So our correct option is option C. In the interest of borrowers, government, public and banks, no. This is the overall, it covers all the societies and all the public persons. So answer is option C. After that, the purpose of issue of selective credit control by RBI to regulate the availability of credit according to, basically there is one policy, selective credit control. Basically RBI issued guidelines to bank to regulate the availability of credit in specific sector, basically for which priority of borrowers, no. Priority of RBI, no. Risk involved, basically national priority, because RBI wants for the overall development of the country. So selective credit control, basically banks have to give credit to each and every section for the national priority. Which of the following prohibits lending at very high rates of interest and empowers reopening of such contract? Like, what is the meaning of very high interest rates? Like in villages, money lenders charge very high interest rate from the village people. So in which way we can protect? Basically under which act? Usurious Loans Act. Basically this is the act under which we can prevent very high rates of interest rate. This act formed in 1918. So answer option A. So this act basically prohibits lending at exorbitant rates or very high rates. Law has been made. Why this law has been made? As we already discussed, law has been made to protect the weaker borrowers from the powerful money lenders. Second is RBI Act, Banking Regulation Act, companies. These have no rule regarding this. After that, which of the following provides that a transaction between a banking company and its borrower cannot be reopened by court on the ground that the interest rate is excessive? Basically, banks has power to decide their interest rate. Court has no role in this. Either bank charge high interest rate or low, court has no role in this. So under which section it provides that? Basically under section 12, no. RBI, no. Basically we have know that this is Usurious Loans Act. This is the act. But under which section? Basically under section 21A of the Banking Regulation Act. It provides that a transaction between a banking company and a borrower cannot be reopened by a court. So you have to remind all these points. In notes also we have specially mentioned this point because this question asked in 2018 May session. 21 for loans and advances, which we have discussed already. 21A basically for transactions between a banking company and a borrower that cannot be reopened by court on the ground that the rate of interest is excessive. So answer is option C. Which of the following state does not match to its answer? Basically we have 4 statements. We have to find that which does not match to its answer. Bank can lend any amount of loans to their directors. This is right or wrong? Bank can lend any amount of loans to their directors? False. So this is the right one, as we have given false, and this is the right one. And we have to find which does not match. Second is RBI can issue directions to bank on loans and advances under section 35A of the Banking Regulation Act. This is true or not? This is not true. This is 35A not. This is 21. Under section 21 of the Banking Regulation Act, basically RBI issue directions to bank on loans and advances. Here we have given true, which is the correct is false. So our answer is answer option B. You can study further two options by yourself. So under section 35A, previously we have discussed section, here we have given 35, which is wrong. Answer is 21. So another question for section 35. Directions under section 35A of the Banking Regulation Act can be issued by RBI too. Basically under section 35A, directions is issued by RBI for which, basically for a particular bank only, for all banks uniformly, or for a particular bank or uniformly to all banks. Option D is not to a particular bank but generally to all banks. So as per in the section 35A, directly given that under section 35A, banks can issue directions to a particular bank or uniformly to all banks. This is the exact wording in the section. So answer is answer option C. Under section 26 of the Banking Regulation Act, the banks are required to file a return with RBI relating to, as we have discussed in the video lecture or in the notes, under section 26. Basically section 26 is regarding the returns on unclaimed deposits. Basically some accounts which are not operative from the last 10 years, their funds are to be transferred to the DEF account. Basically their funds are transferred to the DEF account. You have to write the full form of DEF in the comment section, which we have discussed in the lecture first also, which what is DEF account. So the accounts which are inoperative from the last 10 years, basically on these the amount is transferred to the DEF account, and this is mentioned under section 26 of the Banking Regulation Act. So our answer is answer option A, unclaimed deposits. After that, last question. Indian banks are required to transfer -% of their annual profits. Basically how much percent of their annual profits to the reserve fund under Banking Regulation Act. As we have already discussed this also, this is also important. 20% of their annual profit. Indian banks are required to reserve under Banking Regulation Fund, and under which section? Under section 17(1) of the Banking Regulation Act. And from which account? Profit and loss account. Similarly for foreign banks, this is also 20%, and under which section? Section 11(1) of the Banking Regulation Act. 11(1) of the Banking Regulation Act. This is for foreign banks. So you have to remind both sections, section 11(1) for the Banking Regulation for foreign banks and section 17(1) for the Indian banks. Basically which are Indian banks, only those Indian banks, this point is also important, only those Indian banks which are under second schedule of RBI Act, which are under second schedule of RBI Act. So here we end our fourth lecture on MCQs. If you like our lecture, please share this lecture with your friends also, and please subscribe our channel. And if you like the video, please press the like button also. Thank you.